Hey, I'm Decathlon Gamer. Welcome back to PCM21 Career Mode. We are on episode 54. Little shout out to Car54. Where are you? Of course, that's a little before my time. But anyway, new season. New season upon us. Continental Pro. And oh my goodness, we were so close. I thought maybe Karaman leveled up like the final day of the season. Oh, no. No. Couldn't have. No way he could have. Because if he did, he's already leveled up again, which actually is possible. Here's why. Even trying to just go on his evolution chart, nothing's visible at this point. It's totally buggered. That's happened with this game before. But if you look at his career, 2025 Matrix Power Tag. That's us, by the way. New sponsor, remember? New sponsor. But there you go. Nothing prior to 2024. He was not with the team in 2024, meaning he was a new gen last year. As in, he's new. As in, on those 20 levels, the 20 times that you get to level up as a cyclist in this game, he is very early on that progression. How far, I don't know, because, again, the evolution chart it doesn't really reveal that. I can't go, oh, look, he's grown 3 times, 4 times, and then be able to know that he's, level 4 and approaching level 5. I don't know that. But what I do know is that somewhere between middle of October and now the 1st of January, he has leveled up. If you didn't see it, here it is. He is now a 78 overall. Again, our scout says he's between a 4 and a 7, but if he leveled up twice in that span, we're talking very, very early in his leveling progression, and we're talking about rapid, which of course early levels are pretty rapid, even when you're potential 1-2. But anyway, he's already hit 80 mountain, and this is the beginning of 3 years with us. 80 mountain, 74 hills, 76 time trial, 75 prologue. The resistance and stamina are already tolerable, and the recovery at 75, meaning we suddenly have 3 GC contenders on this team. And I don't need to send 1 to each Grand Tour. For one thing, I don't think we'll be in all 3, though profile-wise, we should be high enough. Finishing first place in Continental Pro last season and being the highest ranked one, we very much should get into most of the races that we apply to. We won't get into all, but we should get into most. I won't apply to every race as a result because we're already going to have a Continental Pro calendar to navigate, and the team shrunk quite a bit from last season to this season. We got rid of 11 riders and signed 5, something like that. So we subtracted 6 from the total we had. Now, we still have plenty, but that doesn't mean we can do 4 races at a time. It means we could do up to 3 races at a time. So I will take a look through the calendar. Also, I don't have proper sprinters to go up against the world's best. I don't have proper classics riders, other than 1, to go up against the best. And so we'll try some. And classics are 1 day anyway. Punchers, so-so. Obviously, anything with climbing, you better believe we are going to apply for any of those type of races. But those tend to be stage races, a week long. So how many can we actually fit in the calendar without really substantially changing it? Well, we'll see. Maybe I want to substantially change it. You never know. We'll see. I haven't gotten into that phase just yet. But I have definitely picked up on Karaman. Also, you might have picked up on that big ol' red plus down there, that medical sign, the fractured vertebrae, and he's coming back mid-March. That happened in December, so after he technically already signed with the team, but before he ever started properly training with the team, so training on his own, and he's had himself a proper accident. That sucks, but that's okay. We'll have him by March in plenty of time for the big races to come. And already a 78, we're talking about a big boost towards making World Tour next season. But of course, expiring contracts of our other 2 key guys here could work to derail that But looking at the finances, our budget, $121,000 per month, up slightly from what we had last year, $5K. But the big thing is we're looking at a $29,000, so $30K increase if we get super success this season. Considering we're locked in on Continental Pro with a team this good, I don't think I'm going to have too much of a problem getting a high evaluation this year. Next year, we'll see about that, as we likely jump into World Tour and maybe have our hands full, maybe you don't, especially if they start asking us to win sprints and things of that nature, or win a bunch of classics like Strade Bianche, top 5, Paris Tour Elite, top 10. Maybe that one's more punchy, right? No, it's a sprint. Yeah, so top 10 though, top 10. That's pretty manageable. Strade Bianche could be tough. First place on a big Continental Pro race. Yeah, we should be able to manage that. Top 5, Milano Torino. I've had some success there. Saudi Tour. Well, not with PCM21 yet, but Saudi Tour, yes. I rather enjoy that one, and I could see us pulling off a top 3. I think we'll have no problem getting that extra $30,000 for next year. Plus, if we can re-sign those guys, we're guaranteeing World Tour. I mean, we missed it by this much this season. So dang close. Literally, first team out. So if we're that close, and we've already pushed one of our top 3 guys up another 2 points, bringing up the overall average by roughly 0.6 of a point, that would have been enough. He just missed it. We just missed it. And we're already at that mark right now. But of course, again, 2 big expiring contracts. If I can re-sign one, I still like our chances. If I can re-sign both, definitely making World Tour next season. If we can't afford to re-sign either, we could have our hands full coming into next year. Now, breaking down the roster real quick. Quick, because I do want to get into racing. We did a lot of talking to those last handful of episodes. Climbing, Berlikov, 84, Karaman, 80, Martin Guerrero, 77. I mean, look how he's kind of already eclipsing him, though, the time trialing. Punchiness, it's Berlikov, it's Igashin, it's Jurcevic, our top guys there, time trialing. We have some pretty good quality here. There's definitely some depth. A team time trial with our top 7-8 guys. They would be pretty dang competitive with that. Prologue, not quite as strong, but not terribly far off. That's still my biggest problem. Classics. Scalvez. I will try to use some scouting to see if we can find another guy. He needs some support. He really, really needs some support. Even with, say, 3 riders, you can do a lot with 3 riders. You could do a decent amount with 2 riders. It is crazy hard for one rider to go solo the last 60K and hang on with the other best classics riders. And a 76 isn't that great. A 68, a 67, not that great. Okay, sprinting, still an issue. Looking a little better, though. I mean, I've got 4 guys that are 73 plus, and outside of the acceleration for a couple of them, there's good signs here, and there's also good signs here. I mean, they're all 22 and under, which is significantly younger than what we had. Significantly younger. I mean, Pluto was top guy, like second best. Aribe was top guy, late 30s. So we've moved beyond that stage, but we still haven't had the breakthrough. I'm hoping this season is the breakthrough where we start getting somebody up to a 77, 78 in the sprint with strong acceleration and a little bit of resistance to finally begin challenging at another level when it comes to the sprints. Top 10s, yeah, sure, we can manage those, but we're not winning sprints right now. Already a step in the right direction. In years past, we would go for some sort of invite and then get responses from 8 of them immediately that were like, nope, sorry, not invited. and 0 successes, or maybe just 1. This time, only a single response towards Dorflanderen, and we're invited. And you can see the bonuses towards invitations confirmed. Matrix Power Tag, us. We have priority on invitations for all races on the World Tour calendar, as does the Turkish Airlines squad. So just the first 2 teams. So you can see the first 2 teams of Continental Pro Division on the basis of Super Prestige ranking at the end of the current season. So the best teams, the most successful. And we won that last year, and that's why we have earned that right. It was not because of our ranking. It was ranking in terms of the top 3 riders ranking, which is obviously what gets you into World Tour or not, but this is for those most successful teams, so that you can still be that small team, and coming into that next year, if we weren't suddenly at the top, we'd actually still have a chance at it. And we open with, well, a cold shoulder. Was not expecting this. Paris-Nice, no invitation for us. Seriously? Liège-Bastogne-Liège. Okay, we got in there. Criterium, yes. Tour de France, we are in the Tour de France. Flèche Wallonne, we are in. So after a slow start, things have really picked up. Paris-Roubaix, we'll struggle with that, but okay. Tirreno Adriatico, we're out. We are in for the Giro, so that's 2 Grand Tours that we are in for, and Milano-San Remo, we are in as well. No invite for Amstel Gold. No invite for the Catalunya either. Bahrain Victorious didn't make it up. I think they were just below us, and then Turkish Airlines. So, yeah, okay. There are some competitors. We're not going to get all of them in, but we are getting plenty of invites. So, we'll have a much more packed schedule this year. And welcome, not to our first actual race of the season, but our first World Tour race of the season, the Cadel Evans Great Ocean Road Race. Words. Anyway, there is some undulation here. It is not totally flat, and as we are surrounded by World Tour teams, and the final breakaway rider was just now reeled in, there's been a pretty hefty push, and you can see all of my riders are feeling it. None have been dropped. Peloton's down to 120, so it's not like, we're without some sort of push, but we really need to push to make sure we don't drop as we go over this intersection, this hill for the final time. There you go. We got a couple guys escaping off, but there's immediately a pursuit, and now with 11K to go, it's time. It is time for us to set this thing up. Again, we don't have sprinters. It's a sprint finish. We have some fatigue. There's still one more climb to go. My expectations are pretty low here, but Pluto, +4. That doesn't help a whole lot. That gives him resistance, but he's not a great sprinter. You have Sato, who is one of our better sprinters, and I think we're going to end up riding for him with Pluto leading him out. Stellius would be, but he has 0 resistance. He's got nice top speed. He's going to go really fast. It's going to hurt Pluto, so we'll have to keep an eye on that. Kikovci, pretty good lead out potential. I think Narbutas is... No. Galvez would be the other one, but he is quite tired, so let's just set these guys up kind of based on who has some energy. Weakest being Roman, except, let's swap those two, please. Roman way the heck back here. Galvez already up front, so we'll get Galvez setting off. I don't know what it is about this stage, but this particular stage is got a little too much going on. It's creating some game lag. Okay, so Galvez already gets out front, and we are now the fast thing. 9K to go. It's really time to speed up, but I only have 2 guys up here right now. But here comes the rest. We're just about Sato. Yes, okay. Galvez, you need to be pushing full gas now. 7K is all. And here's that last little hill too. So Galvez leading it out, and he is done in Roman. So Narbutas is going to take over from here. And 6K. Okay, we've done a little damage to ourselves getting through that and not getting dropped, but I have a feeling others are going to be in much worse shape than we are. And with 5K to go, we'll use those last 3 gels. Okay, Steliunas is there. That's Galvez. That's Roman. That's Pluto. And Sato. Both a little bit out of this thing on where I want them to be. Let's get these guys to maybe break toe. Between Galvez and Roman, you could easily break toe on those following us. Narbutas brings it down into 4K. Kyokovchi. And we're down to our last 4 guys. 3.7. Inkhorn again pushing. Pluto might be best placed. Sato is nearly there finally. 3.2. I think we got a sprint. It's just the damage behind that I'm worried about. 2.6. Okay, Kyokovchi. Not much of a sprinter. Steliunas, though, not going to give us much of a lead out. I think we're a little too soon, though we do have a little bit of a chance in this. Laporte, Christophe Laporte, Inkhorn, they're threats, but they've already been going. They're already pushing. And these are those guys who are following that. So Steliunas, are we making a big right-hander here? Yes, we are. On to Pluto. Sato, 1.5. I think we're a little too early, but we'll try to finish this thing off. Pluto gets that nice little lead out, 600 meters. Sato doesn't have anything left either. No red bar remains. Pluto's going to sit up a little bit. Are we going to be able to get a top 10? I don't think so, but you can see just how far off we were. Even if we had that little bit left, these guys had already, coming out of that corner, burst past us, burst past Pluto. I just don't have proper sprinters. Sato gets 17th. Pluto got 13th.
We're waiting for the tail enders
couldn't
who
quite break the top 10. It's worth a few points. It's something. It'll get us on the board. I mean, when Ekhoff is all the way down in 9th and Ewan is 12th, 13th doesn't look as bad. Before I get too far into the season, it's already the 1st of February, I want to make sure that I plan objectives accordingly. They can be adjusted, and that's a really nice thing. You don't have to do it all on the first day of the season. But I want to take a look. I already know we're in the Giro. I know we're in the Tour. I don't know about La Vuelta at this point. But I still want to begin planning before it's too late. So, first thing that jumps out at me about the Giro is there are 3 time trials. 2 individual, 1 team time trial. The individual final stage, 30K, and an 8K, we'll call that prologue, and then a 30K team time trial. 10 flat stages. 10. That is a lot. That is absolutely a lot. 6 punchy stages, 5 mountain stages. That's what I need to know about, is those 5 mountain stages. What are we in for? Because based on the time trialing stuff, I'd say we're not looking at a Burlikov race. Burlikov is probably going to be at the Tour. And then we'll use Karaman, Martin Guerrero at this Tour. We're looking at, yep. This one's definitely no joke either at 184K. That is a lot of climbing that day. You kind of want Burlikov for those, but I think Karaman is going to be a good leader for the Giro. It's much closer to his home, for one thing. I think he would probably favor the race. Oh my goodness. Another big mountain climb, though. And again, that is a little worrying. I mean, I can't just put Burlikov at every Grand Tour and hope that he can run it. But depending on what La Vuelta is like, maybe the Giro is for both Karaman and Burlikov, and maybe I'm using Burlikov at the Giro to protect Karaman. Maybe Karaman's the leader there. Berlikov and Martin Guerrero, or one of them anyway, supports. But let's see what we have for the Tour, because that's going to have a big impact on how we do this. Okay, first thing about the Tour is we have one time trial, stage 20, a climbing time trial. 35K, it's a lot. The only cobbles we see is the Champs-Élysées, so that's okay. That's all good. I think that favors Berlikov. We have 10 mountain stages. I don't even need to look at the profile. 10 mountain stages and only 2 punchy ones. That's got Berlikov written all over it. All over it. Assuming we get to La Vuelta, we have a team time trial and a 46K individual. That's really long. Also, only 4 mountain stages. All right, so having 3 leaders and 3 Grand Tours, but wanting to have good, proper support, especially when our drop-off after those 3, is semi-steep. I've decided I'm going to take each of the 3 leaders to 2 Grand Tours. So that gives us room for overlap. Now, not necessarily will they each lead one, though it is possible. But here's the plan. Giro, I'm going to take Berlikov because there's plenty of climbing there, but also some time trials. And I'll bring Martin Guerrero with him. Depending on how things go, they'll kind of co-lead for a while, and we'll see after time trialing or after some climbs kind of how things are, whether we just go with Berlikov. I think the Giro we will struggle slightly because I won't have the best of both worlds with that. We'll be lacking a little bit in time trial. We'll be lacking a little bit with the good time trialist in his climbing. So the Giro, we might not fare quite as well. But at the Tour, Berlikov and Karaman. Go for the 2 best, the 2 strongest, the best climbers. And the time trialing won't matter as much there this year. And then for La Vuelta, excluding our best guy, Berlikov, won't hurt as bad because you can see here from the profile that we have a team time trial and a lengthy individual time trial and only 4 mountain stages. Throw that all together means probably Karaman can get away with not being as strong of a climber as Berlikov, and as our leader, and also with Martin Guerrero, so another strong time trialist and good climber, get another, combo of time trialists there and slash climbers, which we have plenty of those on the team. I think we can still get a pretty strong result out of La Vuelta. So I think we could fare well. Now, I don't even know if I'm in La Vuelta, but I'm going to assume if we asked for the invite, we've got a decent chance of getting in there. However, there's a handful of Spanish teams that also have a fair shot at getting themselves invited over us. So you know me, I like a good time trial, especially this year. So we're at the Tour of Valencia, just a minor race. It's only stage 1 of this race. I do have some guys who can compete here, like Martin Guerrero. And for the time trialists, one of our stronger ones is Roberto Roman, so we give him a shot. So we've been starting out on an 86. You can see right now that does leave us a little room to push a little bit harder. And we've got 2 little climbs here that I definitely want to be pushing for, but we're going to start doing that pushing now. You get a little downhill, so you get a little recovery. You see so far he is in the lead, but Marc Soler has already crossed the finish line, and I would imagine Roman's going to lose a bit of time on this climb, so I doubt he's going to be in the lead any longer, but he makes it over the top here, and then he'll keep pushing towards the end. We can go, say, 87 towards the end. There you go, and he does take the lead over Marc Soler. Wow, nice. Okay, that's pretty good. But I don't think that's going to ultimately hold up. I think it's too early, way too early in this race. That could hang on to a top 10 anyway, but I also don't think he's quite the climber he needs to be. Following 3 strong performances, Narbutas all the way up in 16th, Maida in the top 10 in 7th, just 14 seconds off pace, and Galvez was 29th, now 30th, as Vicente Canto just went into the lead right as we set off to start the race. Roman was already bumped off the lead. He is now down to 3rd, but he's still 3rd place, just 7 seconds down, so that's really good. Martin Guerrero, meanwhile, This is a little bit combination time trial prologue, so it's good that he's got a +2 to prologue. No bonus to the time trialing, though. Resistance +1, so at least he does have that. With the climbing, he is absolutely one of the contenders on the day. Definitely not the favorite. Overall, we are just inside top 10 favorites with Roman and with Martin Guerrero. I'm fairly certain Martin Guerrero will hang on. Maida is not going to hang on to a top 10. He will fade a bit. I know that much for sure. And Martin Guerrero, you'll see if he can do better than Roman. I think he's got a fair shot at it, but he doesn't have the greatest race day condition. I don't know. We'll see. I think that combination of time trialing and climbing should give him a little bit of an edge here, give him a boost. At the first time check, 8th place, 9 seconds down. That's pretty good, and I think he's going to make up a bit of time right here. He's not the best climber at a 77, but he's good. And a lot of guys are not going to be able to match that. We are going to have to back off slightly, though, as we approach kind of the limit. Red bar nearly capping out, but he's going to go over the top. Okay, he will get some recovery. I think an 86 will get him towards the finish, maybe an 87. Final 1.4K. And there you go. 4th place, 7 seconds, same time as Roman. Interesting that. Still, really solid result. We'll see how far they slip down. Quite a few riders have already crossed the line. None of them eclipsing our times as of yet. Ahrensman comes in right between us. Price Peterson is the favorite, and he's only 3rd place. So it is a top 5. 4th and 5th after the count back. 4th and 5th. So 2 guys in the top 5 in a good place in the overall. It's a good result. I'll take that. Like I said, we were not favorites at all. Rowan Dennis is all the way down in 10th place, and he can climb and time trials. So seeing him that far down is definitely a good sign for us. All right, folks. Well, a couple random races to get the year started. Some planning to get the year started. Some invitations. We didn't get all the races we wanted, but we are getting lots of them. I'd say we're getting a good 75% of the races that I've put in for. I have received invites for, so that means we are going to have a lot of World Tour racing this season, but not the complete calendar. The big thing, because I think we're going to cruise to being the best team in Continental Pro this year, overall. Not necessarily in sprints and classics, but I think we'll score the most points. That being said, it's all about next season on getting ourselves into the World Tour. And Berlikov, yeah, he just leveled up again. Are you kidding me? He leveled up again. He's an 81 now. He's that much harder to sign. He's probably going to ask for 100,000 plus. And our total budget right now is 120. Next season, 150. At least 50,000 for the entire rest of the team if he asks for 100,000. It's going to be really hard to keep him. We may end up having to let Berlikov go, re-sign Martin Guerrero, and then Karaman and Martin Guerrero become your top 2 guys, and then you need one more to step up. Martin Guerrero needs to level up again, of course, for that to all work, but it's certainly not impossible, especially at the rate that Karaman is leveling up. He could easily be at Berlikov's level by the end of this season and already be our natural replacement to Berlikov. But then you need the replacement to Karaman. You need to re-sign Martin Guerrero in that scenario. So he needs to be up. Igashin, Isakov, Yursevic, or one of those 74s, numerous 74s that we have. Somebody is bound to do some quality leveling up. We have found another gem, it looks like, in Karaman, as he's leveled up twice since we signed him, and he has not raced a day for us yet, and he's already a top candidate for our leader going forward for potentially the next couple of years if Berlikov's gone, or at least one of our top couple of guys. So excited for that, but let's go ahead and wrap this thing up. I'm Decathlon Gamer. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Have a good one. Be safe out there, and bye for now.